I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share it with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. We're going to dive into TNA Impact from February the 19th, 2026. This was the Fallout show to No Surrender. TNA, just like NXT, is still in a rebuilding stage, and it shows. Again, that roster is very weak, and TNA needs some help, but they won't get it for a while. Again, we have to wait until Mania, well, after Mania, when WWE does their releases. It should be a pretty decent number of people that they're going to let go. And then whoever they let go, hopefully some of them will sign to TNA. Hopefully. I wish that Tony Khan wasn't so damn stubborn and so much of a hoarder that he would just release a good bit of people, and that way they can be sent to, TNA and MLW and NWA and stuff like that, But hey, it is what it is, man. So, we're also going to talk about the ratings as well. The AMC ratings have been doing tremendous. TNA on AMC ratings-wise has been great. They've been hitting home runs ever since they've done, ever since they moved to AMC. And I'm pretty sure the AMC executives are very pleased with TNA Impact. Basically, they're doing collision numbers, basically. And we are going to talk about the ratings from last week's show. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and go over that real quick, and then from there we'll get into the review. Which, again, it was a pretty okay show for the most part. So, the ratings for the February 12th episode of TNA Impact drew 254,000 views. That's solid. And it was a 0.05 in the rating for the 14 to 89. The 18 to 49 demographic. So that's great. So it went up 29% from the previous 4-week average. So this is great. This is great. Again, I'm very, very proud of TNA. I figured that TNA would make a turnaround, and this is proof. Even though they're pushing acts that I don't like the System and Eric Young, apparently, I guess they're drawing or whatever. But AMC, man, has done tremendous work for TNA. Tremendous. And this is great. Like, every single week that I talk about the ratings for TNA Impact, it's increased. And I like that. I really do. So I think they're going to end up doing collision numbers on most weeks, which collision usually gets between 200 to maybe 220,000. Maybe on a good week, maybe 250,000. So basically TNA is just doing collision numbers, which is fine. And people are like, well, that's because TNA is on Thursdays and Collision's on Saturdays. It's like, nobody cares about Collision. No one watches Collision. Collision is dog shit. The only important product for AEW is Dynamite. No one gives a fuck about Collision. Nobody does. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, and it's a weak argument. It's a very weak argument. So, whatever. But kudos to TNA, to them constantly hitting the ratings out of the park every single week. That's great. And they've been on AMC for a month, and this is great. So they have done very well for their first month on AMC, and hopefully they do even better as this year progresses. All right, let's go ahead and get into the review. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Indy Hartwell defeats Heather by Elegance. I don't understand why they're pushing Indy. I don't. I'm not a fan of Indy Hartwell. I actually used to be, but ever since she had that god-awful match with Tessa Blanchard, what was that, Slammiversary last year, I completely soured on Indy. And really and truthfully, man, I'd rather see her in like MLW or NWA or just on the indies, in general, where she works, for House of Glory and NWA and MLW and stuff like that. But I'm over Indy Hartwell, and I have no idea why they continue to push Indy Hartwell. I don't know what the hell is on TNA's mind, but they need to get with the program and get rid of Indy Hartwell. Please do it quick. All right, moving on from that. Oh, I forgot to mention, Ashley Elegance was on commentary for whatever reason, and she tried to get involved, but to no avail. Whatever, who cares? This leads us into Steve Maclin. He is trying to get into the building. He was stopped from entering the building by security. Mike Santana got into the ring next. So he talked about Steve Maclin in the ring before calling out Leon Slater. He said that he's going to give Maclin a receipt coming. So I do like that. So then Mike Santana, he apologized to Leon Slater for abandoning him during their tag team match at No Surrender. So the two of them, they shook hands. Leon Slater then reminds the fans that he pinned a former world champion and Nick Namath. So Nick Namath and Ryan Namath, the Namaths, they came out. So Nick basically just dismissed Leon Slater's victory as lucky and a fluke. But he admitted that Leon Slater was the better man that night, but still called himself the best man alive. So both Mike Santana and Leon Slater, they wanted a tag team match, but Daria Ray came out and she said that match could happen next week. Okay, that's fine there, I guess. It is what it is. Clearly, we all should have known that this Steve Maclin getting fired, quote unquote fired, was just a gimmick. It was just storyline purposes. We knew they weren't going to fire Maclin at all. I'm pretty sure behind closed doors, they've been had Maclin, they've been gave him a contract and everything else. So that's fine. Again, the reason why they're doing this is because heel Maclin is the best version of Steve Maclin is when he's a heel. And that's when he's most interesting. But babyface Maclin, not so much. And again, Mike Santana needs opponents, instead of just, facing Nick Namath and Eddie Edwards and lame-ass Frankie Kazarian, you gotta have someone of note in that. But again, TNA has a really weak main event scene, though. They really do. I mean, I don't know, man. Moving on, this leads us into Trey Miguel versus Stax for the TNA International Championship. It was a rematch from No Surrender. So before the match took place, Ariana Grace boasted about her influence in declaring that she and Stax would soon be the most powerful couple in wrestling, saying that she fooled her pops to get what she wanted, and that's what pro wrestling is all about. So, like I said before, Trey Miguel retains the TNA International Championship via the Lightning Spiral, which I love. I love that finish. He ended up doing the Shell Shock in here. Alex Shelley's finishing move. That was great. So I like that. To me, it's fine. I like what they're doing with Trey Miguel, but we need to get some feuds going for him. We really do. To me, I would say the International Championship is a step above the Exhibition Championship, but not really. So, I mean, this is good. I mean, because Trey's been Exhibition Champion before, but he can damn sure elevate the International Championship. And I like it, He painted it green and everything else, so that was cool. So, good shit there. Moving on, Eric Young is on this show still. Oh my God. Oof. So Eric Young vowed to cleanse TNA once again, labeling Leon Slater an imposter, and accusing him of damaging the X Division. Eric Young declared that Phase 2 of the cleanse is saving the division. Okay, where in the fuck is this going? Again, is this going to be a faction or what? Because again, I am tired of Eric Young. It is time for Eric Young to go away. Frankie Kazarian, Brian Myers, Moose, Eddie Edwards. Make those guys producers, please. Like, enough. Like, this shit sucks. Moving on. Tessa Blanchard versus Jody Threat. That ended in a DQ because of outside interference that came from Victoria Crawford and Mila Moore. And then Harley Hudson and Mila Grace, they came out to make the save, which clearly is going to set up for a 6-woman tag next week. So that's fine there, I guess. What the fuck are they doing with Tessa Blanchard? I have no idea. Moving on. Sinner and Saint, they defeat Rich Swann and BDE. I have no idea why. I don't know why they're pushing Sinner and Saint. I have no idea why. They're not that good. The TNA Tag Team division is very weak. They have really no legit teams at all, period. And I'm shocked that they had Rich Swann and BDE lose. I don't know why they had them lose. I don't know why they had them lose. It makes no sense to me. It's dumb. Clearly it is, but I'm guessing maybe TNA wants to push Sinner and Saint, but they've been there for like 3 years because they were with Josh Alexander. What was that, back in 2023 or 2024? So they've been there, I think, 2 or 3 years. Like, they're not over. Like, enough. Moving on. This leads us into a backstage brawl with AJ Francis and Mance Warner. AJ Francis basically wanted a piece of Step the Lander, which was hilarious. He talked mad shit to Mance Warner because I think he, if I'm not mistaken, AJ Francis was playing cards with some cute females, and Step the Lander ended up getting him out of his locker room and everything else, and then that led into a brawl. So I like this. Mance Warner being a babyface is fine. It's something that I'm interested in. I'm very interested in seeing how they're going to do this babyface run. Once he's done feuding with AJ Francis, it's time to move up Mance Warner, move him up higher on the card. And apparently Mance Warner my bad. Apparently Mance Warner is legitimately married to Step the Lander. I thought that was just in storyline purposes, but it's not. Like, it's real. So that's cool there. Nice. Moving on. So the Hardys, they respond to the system challenge. The system attempted to intimidate the Hardys, claiming they were outnumbered, but the Righteous joined up with the Hardys. So whatever. I don't care about this. I don't understand why we're still trying to do this Righteous Hardys feud. It makes no sense. It's kind of boring. I'm kind of already over Vincent and Dutch. I really am. I mean, and Vincent's been in TNA for a minute. I mean, he was in TNA during the Honor No More stuff. Then I think he went to ROH for a little while. You know, Tony Khan's ROH for a while, and then he got tired of that, and then he came to TNA. So whatever. Moving on. This leads us into a really good promo segment between Elanya Black and Mara Sade, aka Cora Jade and Jakara Jackson. So, Elanya Black demanded a knockout championship match against, accusing Mara Sade of eliminating her from the recent Battle Royal. Elanya Black claimed she earned her place through all that she's done in the indie scene. While she thinks that Mara Sade was handed opportunities, Mara Sade fired back, defending her work ethic and respect for wrestling history, referencing legends like Mickie James and Jazz. So it is what it is. I like this. I'm a fan of both women. I always have been, even with their time at NXT, and they did mention it here. So I do like this. Clearly, I'm thinking if you need a lovable babyface or a real serious babyface to be Knockouts champion, I would go with Mara Sade here. Elanya Black just going to be with TNA for a year. You could give her the belt at some point. She doesn't need to have a long reign because, again, she's not sticking around for a while. She's only sticking around for a year, and then she's gone. So, I mean, and to me, that was dumb. I thought when she signed with TNA, I thought she was going to do at least a good 3 years. But it is what it is. She probably wants that OnlyFans money still, probably. But, I mean, she can do both. I mean, shit, you only work, well, literally once a month in TNA. You do, what, 2 live shows, and then the other 2 are taped. So you're really just working really once a month. So I don't know. And then you got pay-per-view. So really, at best, you're working twice a month at best. Like, what the fuck? But it is what it is. I do like this. I'm interested in seeing where this goes. And hopefully we can get several matches out of this and not just, one and done, basically. Main event of the evening, Elijah defeated Mustafa Ali in the first ever guitar case casket match. It was so. The Order 4, they tried to get involved. They were banned earlier on, but they ended up, getting involved. No DQ, basically. So Elijah ended up winning. He took Sam Ali through the door, and then he threw him in the casket, and that was all she wrote. So whatever. So Elijah wins. Where do you go with Elijah going forward? I'm guessing you move him up the card, I guess, because him and Mustafa Ali were feuding for months over nothing, really. Like, this feud, I think, started in, was it November or October? I want to say it was November. I'll just say it was November last year. So they've been feuding for about a good 3 months over nothing. That's a pretty good lengthy feud right there. And you're not really doing much of anything. So, whatever. So, this should be the end of that feud. Both Mustafa Ali and Elijah need to be moved up higher on the card. Maybe you could have Mustafa Ali go after Trey Miguel. I would disband the Order 4. Ali doesn't need them anymore. It's just the truth. But it is what it is. I forgot to mention they're going to have Steve Maclin voice his frustration with TNA next week. He's going to have an interview with Tom Hannafin, which should be fun. So I do like that. I don't know when they're going to do the Eddie Edwards and Mike Santana, nor the Nick Namath and Mike Santana stuff. So I don't know. Apparently, Frankie Kazarian, he still wants to be TNA World Champion. I have no idea why. He doesn't need to do that at all. He needs to kind of fuck off. I would make him a producer, if we're being honest. But again, TNA Impact is okay. They still need some new talent, and hopefully they'll get that soon. But TNA, ratings-wise, has been doing great. But what did you guys think of TNA? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.